In today's Weekend News Roundup, Education Minister addresses concern about the absence of a daycare on Jost Van Dyke. House of Assembly reflects on the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Fraser questions the absence of a special sitting tributes. Police investigate gunfire in Thomasland on East End, and Premier Wheatley leads a BVI delegation to the 9th meeting of the Inter-Virgin Islands Council. In addition, over $23,000 raised in Rotary Club of Tortola's Grand Raffle. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Saturday, September 24th, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Saturday to each and every one of you. This is your weekly news roundup with the top stories of this past week. Beginning our newscast. While the new Jost Van Dyke Primary School and multi-purpose facility is intended to serve the community in numerous capacities, that of a preschool or daycare is not on the table at the moment. That was made clear by Minister for Education, Cherie B. DeCastro, while fielding questions from members of the public about the new facility. DeCastro, responding directly to a question from a member of the public, said although the government of the Virgin Islands is not responsible for the operation of preschools and daycares in the territory, she has been made aware of the concerns of the Jost Van Dyke community and parents who would like to see such a facility operating on the island, and has noted these concerns. As such, the minister revealed her intention to soon hold meetings to facilitate the necessary discussions with stakeholders to have this need met.
We are in the process of looking to facilitate a meeting with the individuals who have contacted me to have a dialogue with the ministry to see exactly how we could move it forward, because we understand that it's an immediate need, but we understand our current position as well in terms of the current space at the institution as it exists, and we have to ensure that we do not bite off more than we could chew.
The minister's response received mixed reactions, including criticism from one member of the public who labeled it hogwash and demanded that the government make the provisions for a preschool or daycare on Jost Van Dyke in short order. To this, the minister offered what she called a straightforward response.
I can't say here and now what the outcome will be, but what I can say, I preface my former response by saying that traditionally, daycares are not run by the government of the Virgin Islands or the Ministry of Education. The private sector has taken up the responsibility across the territory to facilitate daycares. And overall, there's a reality of a lot of factors that would have to come into place.
Some examples stated of the factors affecting government involvement in the operation of a preschool or daycare in Jost Van Dyke, DeCastro explained, include space, human resource, and financial constraints in terms of the potential of hiring qualified teachers and such which are not currently budgeted for. Continuing on, ahead of debates at Tuesday's sitting of the Virgin Islands House of Assembly, members of the House were given the opportunity to express their condolences and share their memories of the reign of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Madam Speaker, it is no question in my mind that 70 years just being alive is a blessing and a gift that God would bestow upon us, but is also one that a life of service, Madam Speaker, should be recognized for what it is. Madam Speaker, I know there has been, up until yesterday, the United Kingdom and all of the overseas territories had observed 11 days of mourning for the passing of the Queen. I know the Honorable Premier, the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, and the Governor and Miss Bradshaw from the BVI London office were representing the territory along with other OT prime ministers and leaders to attend the funeral services, as well as many other ceremonies, including those that we have observed here in the BVI. It is never good losing a loved one. It's not something that you can just get accustomed to. And I know to her immediate family and those that she left behind, they would have their memories.
After listening to multiple brief tributes in which members reflected on the Queen's great legacy, shared memories of her visits to the territory, and noted the importance of maintaining a positive relationship with the monarchy now led by King Charles III, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Julian Fraser R.A. rose to chastise the House for not honoring the Queen with a special sitting for tributes on her passing.
Madam Speaker, as the rest of the world mourns, we here in the Virgin Islands mourn as well. I must say, Madam Speaker, that this Honorable House, for some reason, has dropped the ball, because we should have had a special sitting for tributes as a House of Assembly to the Queen on her passing.
Honorable Julian Fraser also said he has no doubt that King Charles III will be a good king because ahead of taking the throne, he has had every necessary experience, even if only by observation of his mother. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is investigating reports of gunfire near Thomas Land in East End in the early hours of Wednesday morning. According to a very brief statement issued by the police, officers reported to the scene following reports and recovered several spent shells while observing the area. One vehicle was also found with damages consistent with gunfire. There have been no reported injuries in relation to this matter. Investigations are said to be ongoing. On Thursday, September 22, 2022, Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley has led a delegation to represent the British Virgin Islands during the ninth meeting of the Inter-Virgin Islands Council, which is being held in the United States Virgin Islands. The BVI delegation consists of Deputy Premier and Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai Reimer, Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Marlene A. Penn, Minister for Natural Resources and Labor, the Honorable Melvin Turnbull, Attorney General, the Honorable Don Smith, Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe, Financial Secretary, Mr. Jeremiah Fret, and other senior public officers. In addition to Dr. Wheatley and the BVI delegation, the meeting will be attended by USVI Governor Albert Bryan Jr. and members of the USVI Cabinet. The meeting of council, which formally oversees the relationship between the BVI and USVI, brings together policymakers from both territories to discuss ways of enhancing this relationship. In a statement from the Premier's office, it was revealed by Permanent Secretary Stout-Igwe that the meeting will be co-chaired by Wheatley and Bryan. The pair is due to receive reports from 3 of the 12 standing committees responsible for areas of shared interest between both territories. These will be the Committee on Energy and Utilities, the Committee on Tourism, the Committee on Pleasure, Boating and Sporting Fishing. The Inter-Virgin Islands Council was established on May 29, 2004, following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between then USVI Governor Dr. Charles Turnbull and Chief Minister Dr. the Honorable Orlando Smith, OBE. Now, the Council last convened in February 2020. In this instance, under the then leadership of Premier Andrew Foy, former Premier, the meeting resulted in the donation of protective kits and body armor to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force from counterparts in the U.S. Virgin Islands Police Department. Residents of the Virgin Islands often hear the call for help circulated via word of mouth or through WhatsApp text blasts with the caption, "Urgent, blood is needed." Blood is essential, obviously, to life and health, and the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital has seen its fair share of accident victims, cancer patients, or individuals who are seriously ill and need blood transfusions. There is not a full-fledged blood bank at the hospital to meet the needs of its patients. One of the major projects of the Rotary Club of Tortola in the current Rotary year is to improve and upgrade the hospital's blood bank and storage facilities. Ms. Devil Nicholson, laboratory manager at the BVI Health Services Authority, was the guest speaker at the club's luncheon meeting on February 15, 2022, to speak about the current state of the blood bank at the hospital. She stated that blood donation to the hospital must be sent to Puerto Rico for testing and preparation before it can be administered to patients. She said the most often is when blood is needed, it has to be ordered from Puerto Rico at a cost of $1,800 per unit. Once ordered, it takes an average of 1 to 2 weeks to receive the blood. Ms. Nicholson stated that having a larger blood storage unit and upgraded lab equipment will allow the hospital to test blood locally and will mean a readily available blood supply to hand. In addition, it will significantly shorten, she said, the turnaround time to supply blood to needy patients and lengthen the blood's storage before expiration. The Rotary Club of Tortola is currently raising money to fund the project. The first fundraiser was the recently concluded Grand Raffle with a cash prize of $20,000. The final cash prize drawing was held last Friday, September 16th at One Mart Superstore. The lucky winner was Mrs. Dawn Boyer. A second prize of $5,000 was drawn on 2nd of August during the August Festival horse races at the Ellis Thomas Downs. Mr. Ogun Barronville won that prize. 2 early bird drawings of $1,000 each were made in July and were won by Mrs. Adeline Vanterpool and Miss Ayanna Glasgow. Net proceeds from the raffle total over $23,000, which will go a long way, Rotary says, towards funding the blood bank. Of course, congratulations to all the winners, and much appreciation is extended to the Rotary Club of Tortola in their efforts to assist the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital in upgrading the blood bank. Viewers, that's it for today's News Roundup. Be sure to follow us for your news updates at 284media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. I will see you again on Monday as I deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news, right here on 284 Media out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Saturday, everyone. Have a beautiful evening and enjoyable rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit, I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.